Have you finished the Series 7 benchmark exam? Trouble with some of the options questions? You are in the right place. I'm Brian Marks, the president of Knopman Marks Financial Training, and this is The Vault. Before we get into these questions, I want to give a spoiler alert. We are going to talk about questions from the benchmark. If you have already taken the benchmark exam or have not taken the benchmark exam, stop right here. If you've taken the benchmark exam, keep on going. If you have not yet taken the benchmark, stop here, take the benchmark, and then come back. This is to go through questions you've already seen. The questions might come up in a different order because they come up at random. These will be the harder questions that you've seen on the Series 7 benchmark. So here we go. Jenny has purchased an XYZ June 30 call, and she has sold an XYZ June 35 call. What has she created? So I always like to write these positions out. So I bought a June 30 call, and I've sold a June 35 call. So what do I know? Well, I only have calls here, so I know it's not going to be anything to do with puts. Not going to worry about that. So is this a debit spread or a credit spread? And this is as hard as it gets with options on the exam because I don't have any premiums here. Because you're thinking, well, Brian, I need premiums to know if it's a debit or a credit. Well, not necessarily. Here's your trick. Right? By the way, ultimately, a debit means I'm a buyer because you're paying money, and a credit means I'm a seller because I'm receiving. So I have to know which one of these is more valuable. Am I buying or am I selling based on which one is more valuable? So to figure this out, to figure out which option is, the trick here is to plug in a market value in between those two strike prices. So at a market value of 32, which of these options is in the money? If you're like, well, that's tricky for spreads. That's not about spreads. That's about moneyness. And if you're not clear on moneyness, you should go back and watch my videos on moneyness because that's the critical element here. At a market value of 32, a call is in the money when the market value is above the strike. It doesn't matter if you bought or sold it. A call is in the money when the market value is above the strike. So that means the 30 call is in the money first. That means the 30 call is more valuable. So, it could be premiums of 10 and 2, right? Or 10 and, 4, for example. So that would give you a debit spread. You might say, well, Brian, what if those are not the premiums? The long call has to have a higher premium here because it's in the money first. It is factually correct to say this will have a higher premium. So make up premiums, 15 and 3, as long as the long call, so that's a minus 12. So I know this long call has the higher premium. I bought it, so that's why it's a debit spread. Again, it all comes down to moneyness. It all comes down to those single positions. Next one. When ABC is trading at 43, Adam purchases 10 ABC May 45 calls. So we're buying 10 May 45 calls at 250. I always like to write it out. If Adam exercises calls when the stock is trading at 49.50, what is my cost basis per share? So I exercise the option. I own a call and I exercise. It means I buy the stock. So I pay 45. But what else did I pay? I also paid $2.50. So I paid 45. But I also paid $2.50. So really, my cost basis is $47.50. The key thing for cost basis, that premium needs to be combined with the strike price. That premium is combined with strike price. So I paid 45 and I paid $2.50. That's how my cost basis is $47.50. Mary sold 10 ABC May 40 puts at 5. Upon expiration, what are her tax consequences? So she sold puts. So if I sell an option, I'm going to collect the premium. You sell an option, you're collecting the premium. So that's a gain. Right? You sell anything in this world, you collect the premium, you collect money, you receive money. If it expires, you're just going to keep that money. Long-term or short-term? Well, a standard equity options contract is how long? 9 months. So therefore, it's short-term. When's the only time it can be long-term? It can only be long-term for leaps. Only for leaps, it could be a long-term gain. But for standard equity options, it's always going to be a short-term gain. Ken has sold a May 145 call and bought a May 135 call. Which of the following statements is correct? So we have sold a May 145 call, and we are going to buy a 135 call. This is a spread question just like before. Which option will have the higher premium? Well, Brian, what about, could it be a straddle? Remember, straddles are calls and puts together. So it's not a straddle. It's not a straddle. Straddles are calls and puts together, so it can't be a straddle. So how do I figure out which one is the dominant position? Just like before, we plug in a market value in between the two strike prices. At a market value of 140, remember, a call is in the money when the market value is above the strike price. A call is in the money when the market value is above the strike price. So therefore, in this case, that 135 call is in the money. We bought it. Okay, so it's going to be, what kind of spread is it? Well, let's make up premiums. As long as you know that dominant position has the higher premium, 8 and 2. So I collected 2, but I paid 8. So I paid a net of 6. So there's my debit spread. There's going to be my debit spread. And I know if I buy a call, I'm bullish, right? That dominant position indicates your attitude. What would make it a credit spread? If the short option had the higher premium. It would be a credit spread if the short option had the higher premium. But because the long call had the higher premium, that makes it a debit spread. And that makes it bullish, because if you buy a call, you're bullish. Steve has written 20 JKL June 25 puts. What does he have to do to complete the combination? Well, a combination is just like a straddle. What is a straddle? You either buy both or you sell both. And when I say both, I mean calls and puts. You buy a call and buy a put, or sell a call and sell a put. So as he's writing puts, to complete it, he's also got to write calls. So you're not buying more puts, that doesn't do it. You could sell calls, that's writing calls. You're not buying more puts. So you either have to sell June 25 calls or sell July 25 calls. Well, what about a straddle versus a combination? Well, a straddle is the same expiry and the same strike price. And a combination is not the same expiration and the same strike price. So these are going to be June 25 puts, so something's got to be different. July 25 calls. If it was June 25 puts and June 25 calls, that makes it a straddle. But to make it a combination, which is sometimes called a strangle, by the way, to make it a combination, you need to have something that's different. So the expiration here is different. That's what makes it a combination. Okay, one more. Which of the following options positions is not a bullish strategy? So some people say, oh, not a bullish strategy. That's what I got to focus on. I'm not focused on that at all. What I'm focused on is, what is the attitude of these positions? And then I'll say, all right, what are they asking me to find? So I'm long a 50 put and I'm short a 60 put. So how do we do that? Long a 50 put and short a 60 put. Well, you plug in a market value in between the two strike prices, market value 55. Which of those is in the money? Again, this is where money is. The 60 put is in the money. You sold it. So if you sell a 60 put, you are bullish. Okay. Next one, we're short a June 80 call and long a June 70 call. So how do we know which one's in the money? Plug in a market value in between the two strikes. So market value of 75. You see how many times I've done this? It's all about moneyness. Which of these is in the money, an 80 call or a 70 call? Well, a call is in the money when the market value is above the strike. So the 70 call is in the money. That's the dominant position. If you're long a call, you're also bullish. Okay? We're long a December 45 call. We're short a December 45 puts. Now, this is calls and puts together. This is calls and puts together. So I'm long a call and short a put. I'm long a call and short a put. Tricky. This is actually a synthetic position. This one is hard. I'm long a call, which means I'm bullish. I'm short a put. What's my attitude if I'm short a put? I'm bullish. This is really like bullish times 2, right? Why is that again? Well, Brian, if I'm long a call, if you're saying, Brian, why is that? Well, if you're long a call, you're bullish. If you're short a put, you're bullish. That's a double bullish strategy. It's really a synthetic long. What about this? I'm short a 30 call and long a 40 call. So again, dominant position is you plug in a market value in between the two strikes. So market value of 35. Which one is in the money? Well, a 30 call and a 40 call. A call is in the money when the market value is above the strike price. A call is in the money when the market value is above the strike price. So this 30 call is going to be in the money, and you're short, so that's a bearish strategy. And now I go back to the question at the end. They're asking you, which of the following is not a bullish strategy? So bullish, bullish, bullish. There we go. There's my bearish strategy. What have I come back to time and time again in this presentation? Moneyness. You're saying, well, Brian, these are the challenging options question. Yeah, but look how many times I came back to moneyness, knowing if something was in the money or out of the money. Super, super, super important. I hope you found this helpful. If you're wondering, Brian, what about all the other hard questions on the Series 7 benchmark? Continue on with the videos, and we'll talk about some of the non-options content. Thanks for joining us today. Best of luck on your exam.